Hello, Pastor Steve Waldron. Hope you're having a great day or night in Jesus, trying to catch your breath, doing a lot of videos in a row here. We've been looking at our oldest manuscripts, necessarily the best, been showing from many various quotes, research. This is obviously not true. So we're on TextusReceptusBibles.com, and let's just get started. Thanks for being with us today. No scientific correlation between age and the number of copyist errors. A single generation of transmission could span over many centuries. Now let's see what they mean by that, because it's fascinating, this whole tradition of transmitting scripture. You have to remember, printing press didn't exist for about the first 1,400 years or so of Christianity. So there's no scientifically ascertainable correlation between the age of a manuscript and the number of copyist errors. Because remember, they were being corrupted even in the first century. A lot of proofs for that we've talked about. And the typical theory is that whenever a manuscript is copied, there's a possibility for errors to creep in. That's obvious. So as more generations of transmission occur, the more chances there'll be errors to occur. The Nestle Zoll and UBS 5 editors preferred older manuscripts because older manuscripts supposedly have less generations of copying between them and the originals, and hence less copyist errors, possibly. See, that's the key. While the assumption may appear to make sense at first, it's directly contradicted by confirmable evidence. Even common sense exposes the error of this thinking. The earliest Byzantine witnesses for readings are about 100 to 300 years younger than the earliest Alexandria witnesses for the same readings. So in the Gospels, Codex Alexandrinus is from the 400s, and it's Byzantine. Codex Gulfurbatanus B is from the 4th century as well, and it's Byzantine. Uncial 061 from the 400s, Codex Petropolitanus Purpureus from the 500s, Codex Sinopensis from the 500s, Codex Gulfurbatanus A, 500s, Codex Nitrensis from the 500s, Purpurus Rosanensis from the 500s, Codex Baratinus from the 500s, Uncial, which is big print, all caps, 064 from the 500s, Uncial 065 from the 500s, Uncial 0246 from the 500s, and Uncial 0253 from the 500s. So due to the later dates, 100 to 300 years, the liberal textual critics assume that Byzantine manuscripts are generationally more removed from the originals than our Alexandrian copies. But the difference of 100 to 300 years is rather insignificant in the world of manuscript transmission. Here are some confirmable examples where multiple generations of copying did not occur 100 to 300 years or more. So let's just look at this. History. Erasmus used manuscripts from the 12th century to compile his Textus Receptus in the 16th century. Thus, 400 years, there was only one transmission process, using a manuscript from the 1100s, writing in the 1500s. Beza consulted Codex Bezae and Codex Claromontanus, two manuscripts from the 5th century, the 400s, to compile his Textus Receptus edition in the 16th century. Thus, in 1100 years, there was only one transmission process from these manuscripts to Bezae. Westcott and Hort used Codex Vaticanus and Codex Sinaiticus from the 4th century, possibly, to compile their critical text in the 19th century. Thus, 1,500 years, there was only one transmission process. If one generation of transmission could be as long as 400 to 1,500 years, there's no basis to assume that Byzantine manuscripts in the 6th century are significantly more removed from the originals than our Alexandrian manuscripts in the 3rd century, which were shown to be in error. Scribes in the 6th century had the same incentive as we do now to use manuscripts that were 400 plus years old. A difference of 1 to 300 years is statistically insignificant when you're talking, 1,500 years plus. Since the original writings of the apostles were given in the Byzantine areas, that's significant, not in Egypt. Scribes in these areas could have copied the original manuscripts of the apostles for many years until they finally decayed, like my Bibles fall apart when I use them a lot, as yours do too, no matter how well they're put together. On the other hand, even the earliest Alexandrian manuscripts could be 10 generations removed from the original writings. Give it to a scribe, We simply do not know. Manuscripts do not come with tags indicating how many generations of copy went before them. and there would be a lot of lying possibly. Since a generation of transmission could be as short as 1 year and as long as 1,500 years, it's unscientific to say that a younger manuscript is more removed from the originals than the older manuscripts, especially if the difference in age is as little as 100, 300 years. Moreover, even 10 generations of transmission under skilled scribes, Byzantine manuscripts, minuscules, could yield less copious areas, or masoretes, than a single generation of transmission under unskilled scribes, because in Alexandria, there's evidence, huge evidence, that the scribes didn't even know Greek. They were just trying to copy letters and make a picture of them the way they saw it. So it's impossible to calculate the number of errors that could arise from the number of years. With so many variables at play, the fact that Byzantine manuscripts are later by a few hundred years is of little relevance. And I tell you what, boy, I want to keep going, but we're not. So God bless. Thanks for being here. Join us daily. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.